All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kwame, and this is
Jose Munoz,
And
and
Landon.
Landon. And today we're presenting our project, Fresh Food at CapU. Our mission is to create a sustainable, equitable, and affordable campus food ecosystem that improves access to nutritious, affordable, and sustainable food for students while reducing food waste for local farmers. Um, Fresh Food is a hybrid social enterprise that connects Capilano University students with local farmers through a weekly farmers market on campus. This presentation will cover the social problem that we're addressing and the research that validated the need, the insights that we also gained from a human-centered design approach, and how we brainstormed and ideated and tested solutions while understanding that our assumptions could lead us to uh, a negative positive situation, and also talk about how our long-term vision for the scale of a farmers market is indeed a positive for Capilano University students. Next slide. Oh. CapU students face a consistent challenge, lack of access to fresh and affordable food on campus. Many rely on fast food, such as McDonald's, A&W, and even leftover meals, which are often expensive and have low nutrition. The community needs an assessment targets this or goes into further detail about this topic. At the same time, small and medium-sized local farmers in Metro Vancouver and Fraser Valley deal with surplus produce that they often throw away into waste due to contracts not having a need for them. And also, farmers also have a short-term institution contracts and inflexible procurement systems, which also does not justify the need to waste produce. Research supports that the urgency of this problem from our survey of over 40 students, that's over 70% of students agree with our topic and are in support of our topic. The social problem at Capilano University is a lack of consistent access to fresh food, and that's mainly the gist of it. Next slide. And here's three evidence, primary evidence from our research. The first is over 70% of surveyed students would visit a weekly farmers market. Over 80% showed interest in volunteering or supporting the project. And small farmers report inconsistent demand, lack of storage, and unfair pricing. The third one is mainly due to the bigger and more known farmers and suppliers having the better contracts, while the small farmers are left to pick up um, the dog pieces, the leftovers. The next slide, just one second. For the next slide, before that, I would like to go into our secondary research, which also reinforce the earlier statistics. Um, we also researched the UBC Sustainable Hub, which highlighted that short-term contracts discourage farmers from investing in storage and delivery systems. And the KPU Institute for Sustainable Food Systems confirmed that the farmers also face barriers when selling to institutions, which is more proof that small local farmers are in need of um, support systems to basically not have to throw away their waste for or surplus of groceries. Um, to ensure our solution stays grounded in real needs, we applied the human-centered design tools, which included empathy mapping and the 5 why analysis and interviews as well. For empathy mapping, we learned that students feel stressed due to high food cost and limited healthy options. They see fast food and expensive campus cafes as the only convenient choice. And third and finally, they need meals that are fresh, affordable, and accessible between classes. Using the 5 why methods, we trace the root problem to the lack of affordable and healthy options easily available on campus. We also spoke to Amanda from Lonsdale Key Market, sorry, and consulted other campus market studies as well as the UBC Farmers Market. Um, these conversations helped us understand vendor communication, logistics, and the overall feasibility of this project. And I believe the next slide. All right, SDG covered that. Um, During the early ideations of our project, we had three main sort of ideas, which was the weekly campus farmers market, the subscription based farm boxes for students, and the farm to cafeteria supply chain. We evaluated each model using a business model canvas and value proposition canvas. And our key assumptions with this was students want fresh, affordable food, of course, and farmers have surplus produce to sell, as well as students would participate in being a part of the solution for allowing all students and all stakeholders, including the community as well, to partake in having convenient and affordable food. Oh, sorry about that. We also aligned our solution with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which was the SDG 2, which covered zero hunger, SDG 3, which is good health and well being, and number 12, which is responsible consumption and production. We also had 17, which was, I believe, partnership for goals. And I believe that covered fostering collaboration between students. And yeah, I will now hand it over to Jose, who will begin with the ideation phase. And thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kwame. Can you go to the next slide? Oh,
Of course.
sorry. It's okay. Okay. Ideation. How our idea took shape. So for the ideation phase, our goal was to understand if our idea of a farmer's market actually made sense for CapU students. We came up with this idea really early in the semester, but we still needed to look at student needs and see if the market would truly solve the problem. How the idea evolved. We explored three business models: the weekly farmers market, the produce box subscription, and the farm to cafeteria supply chain, as Kwame mentioned earlier. Comparing them helped us see what was realistic for a student team and which one matched what students actually need and wanted. Why we chose the farmers market? We chose the farmers market because it was the one that made the most sense. Students also showed a lot of interest during our research. It's affordable to start. It also generates community on campus, and it directly addresses access to fresh and affordable food. Ideation basically confirmed that our first idea was actually a very bright one. Experimentation. So in the experimentation phase, we tested if students actually wanted this and if the idea was realistic at CapU. So we focused on desirability, feasibility, and viability through surveys, interviews, and secondary research. On the primary research, also as Kwame mentioned earlier, we we did a survey that got around 46 responses, and the results were actually really positive. Around 70% said that they would actually visit a weekly farmers market, and more than 80% said that access to fresh and affordable food is important to them. They showed what the students at CapU actually were interested in and what they wanted to see. Okay, so interview and secondary research insights. We interviewed Amanda Daniels from the Lonsdale Clay Market, as Kwame also mentioned before, and she shared practical tips about vendor communication, signage, and what makes a market successful. Our research on other campuses' markets also showed similar benefits and challenges, like insurance and food and safety regulations, which we had to have in mind for the future. Our pivot based on evidence. Based on everything we learned from the interviews, the surveys, and other insights, we made 3 changes to the model. Adding, first of all, adding a pre-order option for convenience, expanding the product variety, so not only produce, but making it more varied, so offer things like baked items or ready-to-eat items, and focusing more on marketing because students usually don't know about events going on campus. These 3 changes made the idea even stronger and more feasible to pursue. Okay, now we're going to move on to implementation. In the implementation phase, we planned how the market would actually run. We used a work breakdown structure and Monday.com to organize tasks like securing allocation, contacting vendors, and preparing marketing materials. And since our group got smaller, we kept everything simple and very realistic. And last, our revenue model and our 1-year plan. So our revenue model is based now mainly on vendor fees, sponsorships to support special events or big events, and commissions that might come later when the market actually grows and we could grab commissions from the farmers. For the first year, we planned 6 months of preparation and 6 months of operations. Overall, implementation showed us that the market is double as long as we that the marketing is doable as long as we stayed organized. Now I'm going to pass it off to Landon.
All right, so our 5-year plan outlines steady growth, long-term sustainability, and a meaningful community impact. We assessed worst case, likely, and best case scenarios, with the likely case offering a realistic path to stable operations. During the first 3 years, we will pilot the farmers market, refine operations through community feedback, expand vendor variety, host small workshops, and strengthen relationships across CapU. Volunteers will help keep costs low, making the project manageable for a student-led team. Key KPIs include student attendance, vendor satisfaction, stall fee revenue, and workshop engagement. By year 3, the market aims to operate sustainable without grants, supported by some reliable vendors, subscription programs, and a stable process. By year 5, we envision a fully developed campus food ecosystem with multiple weekly markets, a diverse vendor network, and strong campus and community partnerships. Long-term KPIs will measure reductions in student food insecurity, vendor stability, and environmental benefits such as reduced food waste. Early implementation has highlighted the importance of clear vendor communication and effective signage and setup. Keeping the model simple, roles defined, and impact measurable will support continued growth. Overall, the plan demonstrates the enterprise's longevity, scalability, and capacity to serve both the students and the local community. So our project aligns closely with several key UN Sustainable Development Goals, reflecting both its social and environmental impact. It directly addresses SDG 2, which is zero hunger, by providing students with consistent access to fresh, nutritious, and affordable food, helping to reduce the reliance on low-quality processed cut foods that are often found on campus and even in our cafeteria. By connecting students with local farmers, the project also supports SDG 8, which is decent work and economic growth. This offers farmers stable demand, fair compensation, and a predictable market that encourages small-scale producers to continue their operations sustainably. Finally, the project advances SDG 12, which is responsible consumption and production. By minimizing food waste through the redistribution of surplus produce that would otherwise go unsold, it encourages more mindful consumption practices among students and strengthens local food systems. Um, the benefits to our community are measurable. Students gain reliable access to healthy meals. Local farmers experience more predictable demand and fair compensation. And the broader CapU community benefits from stronger partnerships and increased sustainability awareness. Our theory of change is simple, but in a way it's kind of powerful. With inputs like partnerships, volunteers, and infrastructure, we carry out activities such as student engagement, organizing markets, and outreach campaigns. These activities produce outcomes like higher participation and improved food access. Over time, these outcomes lead to long-term impact, including food insecurity, stronger local food systems, and eventually a more sustainable campus environment. We have also identified some preliminary metrics to track our success. These include a number of students reached, vendor participation rates, engagement levels, and qualitative measures like satisfaction and perceived well-being. These indicators will help the next team understand both the social and operational impact of the project and guide any future improvements. And finally, our final recommendation and call to action. As this project is handed over to the next Enactus team, our primary recommendation is to focus on early testing and gathering real community feedback. Piloting a small-scale market with a few students and local vendors will allow the team to observe how the system functions, to collect some input on convenience, pricing, and product variety, also to identify any challenges that may not appear on paper. Refining this model based on this feedback is essential to ensure both the market is feasible and impactful. In addition to testing, the next team should prioritize building sustainable systems. This includes confirming partnerships with local farmers, campus departments, and volunteers, as well as creating an operational process for scheduling, communication, and logistics. Thinking about scalability and adaptability from the beginning will help the project remain resilient and effective as it continues to grow. The key message is to remember that meaningful social impact comes from ideas that are both inspiring and practical. With careful planning and a commitment to listening to the community, this project has the potential to grow from a concept to a lasting solution that benefits students, farmers, and the wider campus community. We encourage that the next team take the foundation we have built to continue developing it with creativity, measurable outcomes. This project is not just an idea, it's a platform for real change. And with the right effort, it can become a transformative initiative for CapU and the surrounding community. And
Yeah, so in conclusion, Fresh at CapU offers both a practical and feasible student-centered solution to ongoing need for fresh, affordable, and sustainable food on campus. Clearly, our research and community feedback have shaped the model to be more refined and even make it more feasible and more impactful. And by moving forward with a pilot farmers market at CapU, it can strengthen student well-being, support local farmers, and make progress towards the UN SDGs. And we believe now is the time to take the next step and bring this initiative to life. Thank you very much.
thank you for
Thank you
listening.
for your time. Kwame, the thank you slide, please.